Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your Akazaki Yahoo, and I start this broadcast as I will start any broadcast by first of all giving all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua Hamashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four corners of the earth. I say shalom, wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'm joined this evening by my most esteemed Ak Kenaniah. Shalom, Aki.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Maki. Shalom, shalom, Yasharal.
All praises to the Father. Yes, indeed. It is another Yom Shishi evening. We give praise to the Father by the way of the Messiah. And we are back again to get into the second book of Chronicles, uh, or in the Hebrew, it'll be Dibre Hayamim Bête, the second book,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to hit chapters 8 through 14. So we're going to step up to 7 chapters in this particular book, as these chapters seem to be a little shorter. So let's go ahead and get to it and get some edification here. So here we go. All right. We're at Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter number 8, and we have Solomon's activities and accomplishments. Verse number 1. It says, "And it came to pass that at the end of 20 years, wherein Solomon had built the house of Yahuwah and his own house, that the cities which Hiram had restored to Solomon, Salaki, Solomon built them and caused the children of Israel to dwell there. And Solomon went to uh,
Hamath Zobah.
Mazobah. Yeah, I was looking at that one like, Mazobah and Todaki, and prevailed against it. So Solomon was doing some work there.
Yeah, I didn't remember this,
Yeah,
because
I don't think he talked about it when we was reading it in Kings.
con.
'Cause we didn't see any exploits of his of war that he had. Because remember, the Most High said he was going to have quiet, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so apparently he went and took this place. So uh, verse 4, and he built Tadmor. Tadmor, I think that's Tadmor. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Con.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. But he built Tadmor in the wilderness and all the store cities, and he built Hermoth, Hamath. Uh, I guess we could look at these couple of places as we get in these names here. Yeah, let's do that real quick here. This is something I don't know if we've ever seen this before.
Hamath Zobah.
Matsubah, Fortress of Zabah.
Mm.
So that's where we took it from.
There con.
Hmm, okay. Yeah, this is the first time we're seeing this. Okay. And prevailed against it. Let's check out tab more. Yep, tab more. Palm trees. City in which Solomon, after the conquest of Hammashobah. Huh. Yeah, interesting. So he did get a little bit of work in. Let's check out
Put some
Hamath.
work in, con.
Yeah. I'm thinking he just said, took care of that business his daddy told him about, and that was the extent of it. But yeah, he actually fortress, principal city in Upper Syria in the valley of what is this? Or Ortu
Orantes.
Orontes.
Orantes.
Orontes. Okay. Let's see what Valley of Orontes is. Valley of the let's just see what Orontes is. Let's see what that come up with in Google. Orontes River. Orontes or Asa is the river length of it's in Western Asia that begins in Lebanon. Look at that, Lebanon.
Hmm.
flowing northward through Syria. So these were the Syrians that he was going at?
Well, I think the northern portion is I think what we even read in that blue letter. It was in the segment down there was saying like the northern portion. So yeah, Syria was north of Israel.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well, interesting, interesting. Okay. Look, we almost skipped over that. Let's get back to verse 5 here. It says also, but he built Beth Horon, the upper, and Beth Horon, the neither, fenced cities, with walls, gates, and bars. And we got that evil word.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah.
But I think it means I think it means maiden, but it does look like the evil one.
Oh, okay. We'll look at that. We'll look at it as well. Um, and all the store cities that Solomon had, and all the chariot cities, and the cities of the horsemen, and all that Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem and in Lebanon and throughout the land of his dominion. So he was. Let's check this out. Uh, okay, mm, mistress.
Yeah, mistress. What did I said maiden, didn't I? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
mistress.
mistress. Okay, con. Okay. Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
what I
we
meant.
saw that in Joshua. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's not the first time we've seen that word, because I just didn't recall that we said see it in Kings. So interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's continue. Verse 7 here. It says, and as for all the people that were left of the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, which were not of Israel, but of their children, who were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel consumed not, uh, them did Solomon make to pay tribute unto this day. But the children of Israel did Solomon make no servants for his work, but they were men of war and
Mm.
chiefs and of his captains and captains of his chariots and horsemen. That's how it
All
should be. You put
praise.
your people
Yeah.
in a place of favor. I mean that's perfectly
I'm
sensible.
so glad we're covering this, because I've read over this before. We get in the New Testament, we get what we get out of that is that when we are returned to our homeland, to the
Uh-huh.
land that was promised to our forefathers, that we will have strangers and aliens that will be tending our vineyards and our orchards, or our vineyards, and doing all these things. That's the way it was back when Solomon was ruling as well, though.
Right, right. And King and not only that, Dawid had
It,
service as well.
it
You know.
come.
So yeah, and think about it though. You go all the way back to Joshua. Remember what he told them cats? That was like, yeah, we from a far place. Like, okay,
Yeah,
y'all gonna be cutters of wood and drawers of water. So
come.
you know what I'm saying. So yeah, yeah, we've been having servants, for this people. So all praises to Haba for that. Verse 10.
Hallelujah.
Yes, indeed. Verse 10, and these were the chiefs of Solomon's officers, even 250 that bear rule over the people. And Solomon brought up the daughter of Pharaoh out of the city of Dawid unto the house which he had built for her, and said, my wife shall not dwell in the house of Dawid, king of Israel, because the place is set apart, whereunto the ark of Yahuwah have come. And Solomon offered burnt offerings unto Yahuwah on the altar of Yahuwah, and he had built which he had built before the porch, even after the certain rate every day, even after the certain rate every day, offerings according to the commandment of Moshe on the Sabbaths and on the new moons and on the solemn feasts 3 times in a year, even in the feast of unleavened bread, and in the Feast of Weeks, and in the Feast of Tabernacles. See, it just reiterates, it's just constant reiteration where it just really just edifies us. You know,
Hmm.
you understand Torah, you understand what that's talking about. So,
Hmm.
all
Indeed.
praise, yes indeed. Verse 14, and he appointed, according to the order of Dawid his father, the courses of the priests to their service, and to the Levites to their charge, to praise and minister before the priests, as the duty of every day requires, as the duty of every day required. The porters also by their courses at every gate, uh, for as had Dawid, the man of the Most High, commanded. So he's following the ordinances of his father. This is the beginning, still early in the understanding here. So let's continue. Verse 15. And they departed not from the commandment of the king until the priests of the Levites concerning any matter, or concerning the treasurers. Salaki. Verse 16. Now from the work of Solomon was prepared unto the day of the foundation of the house of Yahuwah, and until he Salakia, and until it was finished. But what did I see? But I don't know why I said but. So the house of Yahuwah was perfected. That's crazy. I don't know why I do that sometimes. I mean, I looked at so and I went, but I'm like, that is strange. I don't. I wish I had an explanation for that. I do not. Verse 17. Then when Solomon, uh, then went Solomon to uh, Ez
Zion Geber.
Geber, Zion Geber, Zion Geber, Tolaki, and to Eth, uh, Etha, Elatha,
Elah.
Elath, Salakia. Look, I'm like Elatha, Elotha, Elath. Okay, Kai, Tolaki. At the seaside, in the land of Edom, and her man Haram sent by Salakia, and Haram sent him by the hand of the servantships and the servants that had knowledge of the sea, and they went with the servants of Solomon to Ophir, and took there 450 talents of gold, and brought them unto to King Solomon. So he's steady acquiring wealth, steady
Hmm.
getting it. Yes, indeed. So, uh, Slack, give me 1 second here. Let me clear my nose. Uh, I'll be having these congestion. I don't know. When I talk sometime I'll just congest up. Don't know why. All right. Uh Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter number 9. Visit from the Queen of Sheba, verse 1. And when the Queen of Sheba heard the fame of Solomon, she came to prove Solomon with hard questions at Jerusalem, and with a very great company, and camels and bearing spices. Salakia, and camels that bear spices, and gold in abundance, and precious stones. And she came, Salakia, and when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him, and all that she communed with him of all that was in her heart. Salakia. I don't know why I keep jumping into that, but verse 2. So we did go over this in Kings.
Hmm.
Pretty much the exact same wording. So let's continue. Verse 2. And Solomon told her all her questions. And Solomon told her all her questions, and there was nothing hid from Solomon which he told her. So apparently he knew what she was asking before she even asked. And
Mm.
for him to tell her his questions. So, verse 3. So the queen of Sheba had sent the wisdom, Salakia. And when the queen of Sheba had sent
You
the
said,
wisdom, so
hold on, it's like, yeah,
I
you
know.
said it. You said it, and so I was like, wait a minute. I was like, maybe he's getting ready to give a breakdown or something. Wait a minute.
I promise. I promise. I don't know why I do that. I really don't mean to. That's why sometimes I read and I stop. I look back. I'm like, is that, did I read that right? Did I say that right?
And you
You
know
know,
what? I bet when you read it, I bet you're reading it with understanding in your mind. You just say, you just say a different word, but you
yeah,
probably read it and understand it the way.
yeah. I don't know if it's my mind and my mouth not being in sync, or if my eyes see something that I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. But uh, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue to work on it. I'm gonna continue to get better. So, uh,
Indeed, Doc.
yes, indeed. And when the queen of Sheba had seen the wisdom of Solomon and the house that he had built and the meat of his table and set Salakia, and the settings of his servants and the attendance of his ministers and their apparel, s- his cupbearers also and their apparel, and his accent by which he went up unto the house of Yahuwah. There was no more spirit in her. She's blown away. Like, oh my goodness, look at the,
Hmm.
look at these the guys working for you, man. These guys look rich.
Right,
These guys look like, wow. These the people that work for us are peasants, and you got people that working for
right.
you, and
I mean, you got a temple to your power that's gold.
right,
You know what I mean?
everything gold,
I
right,
ain't seen nothing like this.
right. She's like, they say no more spirit. She's like, there was no more spirit in her. Like, oh my goodness, she was completely just floored, just completely floored. Uh, wow. Verse 5, it was just that's how it should be when you are servant of the Most
Indeed.
High. This was the beginning of him really getting, getting to the left. So let's continue reading. And she said to the king, "It was a true report which I heard in my own land of your acts and of your wisdom. Howbeit, I believed not their words until I came, and my eyes have seen it. And behold, one half of the greatness of your wisdom was not told me, for you exceed the fame that I have heard, that I heard." She didn't say that I have heard, she said that I heard. You exceed the fame that I heard. Like
Hmm.
you greater than what they saying.
Right.
Like imagine what that do to his ego. You know what I'm saying? To his you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
that
oh,
dude.
yeah, yeah, well, you know, yeah. He should have been like, all praises to the Most High. You
Indeed,
know,
Doc.
that's what.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's where you got to go with something like that. When somebody give you, that's a deep compliment. And then I'm sure this woman is nice looking too.
Hmm.
Like you. And I don't know if we even at the place where he got the 1,000 as of yet. But let's continue. Verse 7. Happy are your men, and happy are these your servants, which stand continually before you to hear your wisdom. Blessed be Yahuwah your power, which delight in you to set you on his throne, to be king of Yahuwah your power. So Slakia, to be king for Yahuwah your power, because uh, the Most High loved Israel to establish them forever. Therefore, made he you king over them to do judgment and justice. She landed on thick, boy. She landed on thick on his but yeah,
Hmm.
I just imagine though, for real, you know, this woman who she probably sent messages saying that they was coming, and she don't just show up. You know what I'm saying? She show up with a train of
Mm-hmm.
camels and all of these people, and I mean, she like, I'm Sheba from Arabia. I bring gifts, spices, and gold, and all of this stuff. And he like, come on in. And she get to hanging with him, and I'm sure she making herself comfortable, and she probably look amazing. I would venture to say, because if she didn't, he wouldn't be talking about her. But
Con.
if she looked like a booger wolf, he'd have been like, no, no, I'm not interested. We don't want any. But he would have been sitting there looking at her, and she looking at him, and she's just blown away by everything that he's doing, and everybody around him, and just so amazed. And yet, uh, she's just stroking his ego, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, amazingly. Verse 9. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices great abundance, and precious stones. Neither was there any such spices of the king of Sheba gave King Solomon. Neither was there any such spices as the queen of Sheba gave King Solomon. So they didn't have near the amount of what she brought. Like, she showed up.
Well, I
Uh,
think the way that okay, neither was there any such spice. So there was no type of spice as the Queen of Sheba that the Queen of Sheba gave him. So all the spices that there were, I don't know, I could be wrong, but
she could be bringing some new stuff that they hadn't seen before.
right, well, yeah,
Okay,
exactly, yeah. And
okay.
it's like no spice did she not have. It's the way I
Oh,
neither was there any such spice.
such spice that the queen of Sheba gave King
You
Solomon.
know, you got that Hallelujah script or the
Oh,
scriptures?
yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. We in chapter 9
Come.
and verse. What verse was that? Verse
Uh
9. 9. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Said, and she gave the sovereign 120 talents of gold and very many spices and precious stones, and there had not been any spice any had not been any spices such as those that the sovereignness of Sheba gave to the sovereign Shlomo. So I think that she must have came with some new stuff, some stuff that they didn't even have. Like, they got stuff that they hadn't seen in Jerusalem or in Israel. She coming from Arabia, because
hmm
I think back then and even today, they get so much stuff imported. Like,
yeah,
they get
come.
stuff from everywhere because it's a desert.
hmm
How else, you don't nothing grow there.
And I'm thinking that that's why they. I think that's why we're reading about because like what was so significant about Sheba.
Hmm.
You know, Sheba was a trade center in
Yeah,
antiquity. You know what I mean? Like this is where the caravans from the east would come. You know what
right.
I mean? So it was on that trade route. And I guess that's why we're reading about her and her having like this wealth, this being able to give him 120 talents of gold. You know what I mean?
Right,
Spices at great abundance, precious stones. You know what I mean?
right,
Spices that his kingdom didn't have because they were on
right.
that trade route.
Yeah, because they get it some of the first. And if you check out Arabia now, what's the becoming one of the most famous cities in the world, Dubai, or not even city, or just country, which is really just a bigger city. But Dubai is tallest city, tallest
hmm
building in the world, and these people have to import water. Like, they literally are importing water so that they have water in that city. They
Wow.
import it. That's how much. But look, that's what that oil will do for you. Uh, because they live in the desert, and they got so much doggone oil that it's prophesied at the end time. I know, brother. I know that a lot of brothers teach that America is Babylon, but the scripture says that Babylon is going to burn forever. And the reason it's going to burn forever is because there's oil underneath the ground, and
Hmm.
it's gonna burn. It's gonna straight up burn. And they think it's America. It's not. It's not America. It can't be. America wouldn't burn forever. It's not enough fuel for America to burn forever. But that place is sitting on fuel, and that's why it's gonna burn. So, verse 10. And the servants also of Huram and the servants of Solomon, which brought gold from Ophir, brought uh, algum algum trees and precious stones. So I mean, he's just steady getting like more and more increase. I don't even know what an algum tree is. I guess we could look at that. Salakia. Did we
Hmm.
look at that one before? Have we seen that one before?
I don't remember that, but I
Let's see.
want to say from what I remember, like a gum tree.
Okay.
It's
Al-
album, and I guess this is like the real name of it, but we just call it a gum tree.
yeah, it just say a tree from Lebanon, algum.
Hmm.
It don't even give it like what it
Uh,
is.
yeah, we might be able to see it on Google. All right?
Yeah, let's check it out and see what we see. Algum trees. Let's see what we get here. Trying to see what this is. Algum, a tree which cannot be defined, identified. So yeah, it makes sense why they didn't give much details about it because,
Mm,
and I kind of thought that when I went to the definition and it basically repeated itself, like put that we don't know right here, unidentifiable tree. But yeah, Google even said I don't know
kind
according
of,
to the encyclopedia.com. Right. So let's continue here. Uh, verse 11. And the king made of the algum trees ter- terraces,
uh-huh,
terraces to the house of Yahuwah and the king's palace, the harps, Salakia, and harps and sorceries for singers. And there was no such, and there was none such seen before the land of Yehuda. And King Solomon gave to the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, beside uh, that which she had brought unto the king. And she turned and went away to her own land, she and her servants. So she didn't leave anybody behind. Like, all right, I'm gonna leave these guys with you. Like, now I'm taking all my people with me. So I wonder what was he giving her though, because she brought all this stuff to give to him. But it would make sense he would give her something. But I wonder what he would give her. That's interesting because it didn't go into it, but it went into what she gave him. Uh, so we are in the book of Dibre Hayamim Bait, chapter number 9, Solomon's wealth and power, verse number 13. Let me check on the peek over here. Oh, we got a viewer. Who we got? Shalom, shalom. Whoever's watching, hope you're following along and getting some edification as we are bringing this out. So, verse number 13. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 636 of gold. We saw that in Kings as well. Matter of fact, it's listed right there. So, verse 14. Besides that which Chapman the merchant brought, and the kings of Arabia, the governors of the country, brought gold and silver to Solomon. So the kings of Arabia are consistently bringing him uh, abundance of gold and silver, along with the Chapman. Verse 15. And King Solomon made 200 targets of beaten gold. 600 shekels of beaten gold were in one target, and 300 shields made he of beaten gold. 300 shekels of gold went to one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Verse 17. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. Now, if you just think about that, you know how precious ivory is.
Hmm.
You get ivory from things with tusks. I know elephants. No other, well, probably elephants. So I wonder, was
I
he
mean,
killing them to get it,
right, right.
or was he
Um,
just cutting it, cutting it at a place where they could still live?
well, I'm thinking that back at this time in history,
Hmm.
elephants were probably much more in abundance.
Okay.
Uh, I'm not sure because like it's really not our culture to hunt for sport,
Right, right.
and we know that elephants are not a clean animal that we would be eating.
No,
So,
you
you
would
know,
just be killing them for nothing, for their tusks. So I'm thinking they probably would have just took the ivory from the elephant. How you gonna do that? I don't know, but I don't know. It really doesn't say, but I'm kind of reading into it. But let me not do that. So according to what we read, he made a throne out of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. How he came about the ivory, it don't say. So verse
huh?
18. We'll leave it at that. No conjecture.
Hmm.
Verse 18. And there were 6 steps to the throne, the footstool with a footstep of gold, which were fastened to the throne, and stayed on each side of the sitting place. The 2 lions standing by the staves. So imagine the building of it is saying there's 6 steps, and here's the gold, and you got lions on each side of it. So you get up there, and he's sitting on this ivory overlaid with gold, and this is an immaculate setup here.
Hmm.
Verse 19. And 12 lions stood there on the one side, and on the other sides, upon 6 steps. There were not the like, Slakia, there was not the like made in any kingdom. So there was nothing like this anybody had ever made. This is a completely extraordinary uh, creation that the king had done, that King Solomon had uh, put together. So, verse 20. And all the drinking vessels of King Solomon were gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was not anything accounted of the day of Solomon. So nothing in the day of Solomon was silver. He didn't deal with silver. He
Hmm.
dealt with gold because he was the that cat. He was that type of cat, which he was again. Now again, you got to think about the ego of a man in a situation like this, because he'd have had this queen from another land come and bring him all this stuff. He'd have had the kings of Arabia bringing him all of this gold and some silver and some other stuff, and he's built immaculate, never seen before type of situations, and he's everybody's looking at him like, man, you that guy, and all of this is being fed into him.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I think the last in this chapter, we're at verse 21. In this chapter, I don't think the Most High has been referenced at all. Oh, Slacky, I'm wrong. Verse 11. Well, the house of the Most High, but he's not referencing him in the sense of
And whereas giving thanks of some
right.
sort, right? Right.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it said in verse 8. Okay, so she said that. She said that in verse 8. So we don't get him saying, well, not to say that he didn't say it, but it's not on the page here that we're looking at. So keep these things in the forefront because again, these things are written for our learning. You know, as the Most High continues to increase us, we got to be so cognizant to always give Him that esteem. We got to understand that the reason He's doing this is for Him. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
He's using us. He's using us to do it, but the reason He's doing it is for Him. Verse 21. It says, "For did I do that right? Yeah, counting this go. Okay, kind. Verse 21. For the king's ships went to Tarshish, and the servants of Huram, even 3 years once came Slakia. Every 3 years once came a ship of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes and peacocks. So they add uh, exotic animals, apes
Mm-hmm.
and peacocks. I just wonder if there's really are these really a kofor, kof, or
Kof.
kof. Yeah, it's a literal ape, as in a monkey. And then peacocks, Hebrew word for that is tuki,
Tuki.
tuki, tuki,
Tuki.
tuki. Apes. They got baboon apes. What? I thought this would be a bird.
But you know, it's
They got
you know, it
peacocks.
makes me think of when we said the name, I was thinking Tukey,
Tuki.
like
Yeah.
Raymond Tukey Washington.
Right. Kind. Yeah. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, we saw this in Kings as well. Chapter 10. That's interesting. Tuki.
You know, I wonder is that where they got that from?
That's interesting. That's really interesting. They executed him, so huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. Interesting. All right, verse 22. And King Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom, and all the kings of the earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom that the Most High put in his heart. And they brought every man his present, vessels of silver and vessels of gold, and raiment, harness, and spices, horses and mules, a uh, a rate by a rate year by year. So understand what we just reading here. Now again, you have to consider this man. This is a man. This is not this is not a spirit like the Most High. This is a man, a human being, born of a man, born of a woman. They have they're bringing him vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and raiment. I'm gonna look up this harness here, and spices, horses and mules, a rate year by year. So they're coming to see him on a consistent base, and they're bringing gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not showing up to see Solomon with empty-handed. Like, what's up, man? How you doing? No. You come bearing gifts. Like, wow. Nishek, Nik, N-E-H, Nishek,
Nishik.
Nishek. Okay,
Nishik.
kind. Oh, okay. Equipment, weapon, armory, equipment, weapons. So this was weapons that they was bringing him as well. So when we're reading here, look, that's why I said you got to look at this because I was like, harnesses. What's harnesses? It sounds like something that today a harness would be something like you would keep you in a place or keep you something you put around yourself to protect yourself. Well, effectively, that's this because they bringing weapons and things of that nature, according to this Hebrew word, nishek. So let's continue, verse 25. And Solomon had 4,000 stalls of horses and chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the chariot cities, whom he bestowed in the chariot cities. and with the king at Jerusalem. So he had 12,000 stalls for horses and 12,000 horsemen. So he had a man per horse. He didn't have no extra horses. He didn't have no extra men. He had a man and a horse. Verse 26. I'm reiterating this because, again, think about his ego. Think about it, what this is doing for. This is a man that's doing all of this. Verse 26. And he reigned over all the kings from the river, even unto the land of the Philistines, and to the border of Mizraim or Egypt. And the king made silver in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar trees made he as sycamore trees that are in the low plains in abundance. So he was bringing cedar, like the native stuff that was growing in the land.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he was doing cedar. He was having cedar brought in to the extent that you couldn't distinguish it from the stuff that was growing there. Verse 28. And they brought unto Solomon horses out of Mizraim and out of all lands. So he did not only get the Egyptian horses, he got land horses from everywhere. Verse 29. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are they not written in the book of Nathan the prophet and the prophecies of uh, Aliyah,
Ahia.
Ahiyah, Ahiyah Tolaki,
Mm-hmm.
the Shulamite, and in the versions of Adoa, Adua, Adu,
Edo,
Edu, Edu,
Edu.
Edu,
Yeah, Edu. That's what it is. Yep.
Edu, the seer, against Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. And Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel 40 years. The death of Solomon, verse 31. And Solomon slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David his father, and Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead. So, we've read and we've seen some of these books mentioned. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and if you look, I'm gonna Google this: the prophecy of Edo the Shulamite, and see what we find. See what we get here. Edo the Shulamite. What is a Shulamite in the Bible? Prophecies of Edo the Shulamite. All this in the Amazon. Look at here.
Hmm.
This the real book? That's the question. Probably not. Let's see if it has the attributed author paperback, 22 volumes.
By Tia Birchloff.
Yeah,
Birchloff.
not interested, buddy.
God, God.
JourneyOnline.org. The Shulamite raised up the prophet to speak the leader of the nation. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time going through this rabbit hole, but just kind of interested in what okay, Hashulam, the version of Edu the seer. Never heard of that. Any kind of writing that he did um, against Jeroboam, son of Nebat. Yeah, hmm, interesting. Okay, well let's continue here. Yeah, we need to make a list of these writings that we not familiar with, and see what we can come up with on that. All right, so we are now in Dibre Hayamim.
It played out. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not.
Bait, chapter number King. And it came to pass when Rehoboam, the son of Nebat, who was Salakia, I said that wrong. Okay, let me read that verse 2 again. And it came to pass when Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who was in Mizraim, uh, whether he had fled from the presence of Solomon the king, heard of it that Jeroboam returned out of Mizraim. And they sent and called him. So Jeroboam and all of Israel came and spake to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke grievous. Now, therefore, ease you somewhat the grievous similitude of your father and his heavy yoke that he put on us, and we will serve you. And he said unto them, Come again unto me after 3 days. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam took counsel with the old men that stood before Solomon his father, while he yet lived, saying, What counsel give you me to return answer to this people? And they spake unto him, saying, if you be kind to this people, and please them, and speak good words to them, they will be your servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men. Slaki. He forsook the counsel which the old men gave him, and took counsel with the young men that were brought up with him, and stood before him. And he said unto them, What advice give you that we may return answer to this people? Which he spake unto me, saying, Ease somewhat the yoke of your father did uh, put upon us. Verse 10. And the young men that were brought up with him spake unto him, saying, This shall you answer the people that spake unto you, saying, Your father made your yoke heavy, but I will, uh, but make you, Salakia. Let me read that again from your father. Your father made our yoke heavy, but make you, Salakia, but make you it somewhat lighter for us. Thus shall you say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. Like I'm gonna be a better man than my father was. Verse 11. For whereas my father put a heavy yoke upon you, I will put more to your yoke. My father chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. Slakia. Now let's take a look at those verbal terms. I did hear something about that. Um,
Verse 11.
11 Slakia.
Yep.
Talahi. Uh, I'm looking for whips. Am I looking
Yeah.
right over?
8775. There it is, right there.
Okay, copy.
7752.
I'm looking right over. Schultz. Shot. Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
Shot. So, scourge, whip, scourge. You remember what that scourge? That's talked about the time of the Messiah, but this could be like a whip for a horse, but it's some heavy duty, not comfortable type of stuff. But I don't even know if he even did that because it talked about earlier how he had them as in good positions.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, was that referring to the southern kingdom, or was that referring to all of Israel? Because according to what they said, he had, well, good condition. Uh, Akrabah, Akrabah, scorpion. Right. No explanation. Just thank you. Thanks.
Right,
Appreciate
right.
that.
God.
Appreciate that. I'm looking for some edification, and I get the same exact word. That's exactly what I needed. Let's continue. Verse 12. I've heard that this was a something worse than a whip. That's what I was wanting to look at and see, because I've heard that it was something worse than a whip. So now we don't get that from Blue Letter. So verse 12. So Rehoboam and all the people came to Salakia. Oh, these names get me. I promise.
Yeah, God. These are very, very similar names, though.
Very
Very similar
similar.
names.
My goodness. I looked at it and said, look, okay, kind. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the third day, as the king bade, saying, come again unto me on the third day. And the king answered them roughly. And the king Rehoboam forsook the counsel of the old men and answered them after the advice of the young men, saying, my father made your yokes heavy, but I will add thereto. My father chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. So the king hearkened not unto the people for the cause of the Most High, that Yahuwah may perform his word, which he spake by the hand of A- A- uh,
Ahia.
Ahia. I can never get Ahia's name right. Ahia, 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 the Shulamite, uh, to Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. So the Most High had already promised Jeroboam that he was going to give him 10 tribes.
Mm-hmm.
This would be officially known as the Southern Kingdom, which they were already Southern Kingdom, but they were already known as that. But that would be their them going forward. So, verse 16. And when all of Israel saw that the king would not hearken unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in Dawid? And we have no inheritance with the son of Jesse. Every man to your tent, O Israel. And now, Dawid, see to your own house. So all of Israel went to their tents. So this is them actually splitting. This is
Mm-hmm.
the north saying, look here, we ain't dealing with y'all. We got to do our own thing. And that's what he's saying. Let's go to our own tents. Meaning they leaving Jerusalem, the southern part of Israel. They're going back north to operate on their own. So verse 17. But as for the children of Israel that dwelt in the city of Yehuda, Rehoboam reigned over them. So Rehoboam, this is the son of Solomon, he did keep those who were of the northern kingdom of Israel uh, and reigned over them. Those that were in the land of Yehuda. Then King Rehoboam sent uh, Hadaram that was over the tribute, and the children of Israel stoned him with stones that he died. But King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. And Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. So he tried to impose a tax to the northern king. I remember reading this
Mm-hmm.
in Kings. Yeah, it's just crazy. He tried to impose a tax. That's what the tribute is talking about. And they stoned him with stones. So they was hitting him with stones, so he died. Now this is unreasonable because you're only supposed to stone somebody per Torah. So when you those rocks at somebody and they die, you diminishing. what the Torah is,
Yeah, con.
because the Torah give you instruction to put somebody to death by stoning for this purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
when you start, now you stoning a tax collector,
You're
which
just a murderer, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, which is you're greatly diminishing the effect of what the stoning represent. Stoning represents you going off from the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you get stoned. Uh, but when you just do it to a, now don't get me wrong, now the tax collecting was evil, but not stoning. They should, it'd have been better if they'd have hung him from a tree or something like that. Uh, let alone throw rocks at him. So all
Or
right,
cut his beard or something.
yeah, something like that. Do something malicious to him, but to stone him, that's yeah, that's the next level uh type of stuff. So, and he was probably their own people, I would venture to say. All right. Let's see, it's about 10 minutes till midnight. Uh, I'm gonna have to give me about half a minute here. I'll be right back. I gotta take just a quick little break here.
Con.
One moment. All right, Toda, Salakia for the brief interruption there.
Oh, no worries.
All right. Praise you. All right. So now we're at Dibre Hayamim Beit, chapter number 11. Rehoboam reigns over Yehuda and builds cities. Verse number 1. Uh, and when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he gathered the house of Yehuda and Benjamin, and 180 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against Israel, that he may bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam. Like, look here, I'm finna get these boys in line. They don't, they
Mm-hmm.
acting up. I'm finna tighten them up. Let's get it. Let's load them up. We about to go up here and handle this. Verse 2. But the word of Yahuwah came to Shechem, the man of the Most High, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Shlomo, king of Yehuda, and all of Israel in Yehuda and Benjamin, saying, Thus saith Yahuwah, You shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren. Return every man to his house, for this thing that is done is of me. And they obeyed the words of Yahuwah and returned from going against Jeroboam. And Rehoboam dwelled in Jerusalem and built cities for defense in Yehuda. He built even uh, Bethlehem, and
Etam.
Etam, Todaki, and Tekoa. Tekoa, I remember that one. So Bethlehem is like house of bread.
Bread. Con.
Okay, What is that? Etam. You remember what that one was?
Now I'm not sure what Etam is. I remember looking at Tekoa, but I'm not sure
Yeah, I can't remember
what it
what that one
means.
was either. A-Y, Tom. Layer of wild beast, a village in the tribe of
Okay, I
Simeon.
do. Yeah, I do remember that now
Layer of
because
wild beast.
we read that in Joshua the first time.
Okay,
And I think we read Tekoa in Joshua as well. I
yeah,
remember that's when
that's
the
13.
half tribe of Manasseh and the Reubenites, that's around the time we read about this place, I want to say.
Con. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I believe so. Let's continue. I just can't remember what they was called here. We're getting into some of these. All
God.
right, here we go. Uh, verse 7. And Bethzur
Mm-hmm.
and uh, Shako
Mm-hmm.
and Aduma, Adumla, Laim,
Adulam.
Adulam. Look, I'm saying Adulaim, Adulam, uh, and Gath, and Mersha,
Mm-hmm.
and Ziph.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, I remember some of these here. All praises. And Adoram, Ador,
Mm-hmm.
Adoram, and Lekish,
Mm-hmm.
and as
Azika.
Azika. I was gonna say as. Look, I was trying to put a T in there. I was going to say Aztec, but
Right.
I don't know where
That's
that
what it
T
kind of
came.
looked like, yo.
Yeah, it kind of do, but I don't know where I got a T from in that. Verse 10, Azura, and I call his name again. I said it 3 times.
Ayilan.
Yeah, Ailan.
Ayilan.
Ailan. No, that's the okay. That's not the one that we was reading earlier.
No.
Okay, con.
Ahia is the one
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talking.
that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dang, I can't even. It's not even. It's not coming to me. But okay, Ailan, and Hebron, which were in Yehuda and in Benjamin, fenced cities, and he fortified the strongholds and put captains in them, and stored the victuals and of the oil and wine, Salakia, and oil and wine, Salakia. Oh no, I feel like I'm having an allergy attack. Verse 12. And in every s- and in every several city he put shields and spears, and made them exceedingly strong, having Yehuda and Benjamin on his side. So he was getting ready for some. Did we read that? I don't recall reading that. Where he
I yeah, Khan.
you remember that?
I do.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, okay, verse 13. I'm trying to look. I'm thinking back now to what I don't remember the wars that he fought, or if he fought any. I know that they ended up getting into it with the Northern Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's what
think
it
that was
was.
the I think that was I think that was the extent of it, of his battles, when they stayed at odds, which is crazy. Verse 13.
God.
Right. And the priests and the Levites that were in all of Israel restored to him out of all their coasts. Jeroboam appoints false priest and feast. But we get into the priest now. Verse 14. For the Levites left the suburbs and their possession, and came to Yehuda and Jerusalem. And Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto Yahuwah. And he ordained him priest for the high places, and for the devils, and for the calves which he had made. This dude was doing some wicked stuff. Okay,
Indeed.
if you don't understand what we reading here, this dude was doing some straight up wicked stuff. This is uh, Jeroboam. Jeroboam was a very, very, very wicked man, and he paid immensely. not just him, his whole line for his wickedness, because he went completely and utterly against the Most High. I'm gonna stop there because I can keep going on this. This gets me fired up when I read this. Like, man, this is crazy. Verse 16. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek Yahuwah, power of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto Yahuwah, power of their fathers. So they strengthened the kingdom of Yehuda and made Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, or Slomo, strong. 3 years, for 3 years, they walked in the way of Dawid and Solomon, Rehoboam's family. So we're going to get into verse 18. And Rehoboam took him uh, Malath,
Mahalath,
Mahala, the daughter of uh, Jeremoth,
Yerimoth. Mm-hmm.
Jeremoth, the son of Dawid, to wife, and uh, Abahel, Abahel,
Khan. So yeah, Abihail, Khan.
Abihail, okay, the daughter of Elabah, the son of Jesse.
So these were his cousins.
Okay, yeah, which makes perfect sense
Mm-hmm.
because now I was actually reading, not reading, I was actually looking at a thing on YouTube, and it talked about some of the people who had the biggest problems physically and developmentally, and it talked about those that did this that had
Mm-hmm.
similar ancestors, and I'm thinking they were just promoting
Uh,
wickedness. But one thing that they said that I can't agree with, I could agree with, they talked about how if you have a similar ancestor, so now again, if with Israel, we keep the commandments, we get Barak. So there's a lot of this doesn't apply to us. But if you got high blood pressure in your family and you marry your cousin, say your grandmother, your grandfather, say your grandfather has high blood pressure, and you marry your cousin, well, you just doubled high blood pressure in your family because you got it or you inherited to get it, and your wife is inheriting to get it because y'all got the same grandfather. You know what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You come from a set of brothers, then so that kind of makes sense to an extent. But understand again that when Israel was walking in righteousness, these things were not a concern of ours
Yeah,
because the
Khan.
Most High was with us, and our children were good when we
Mm-hmm.
were in righteousness. So
Indeed.
yeah, verse 18. And Rehoboam, oh, did I just read that? Yeah, I just read that. Verse 19, which bear him children, uh, Yeshu and Shamara,
Samaria.
Samaria, Samaria, and Zaham, Zaham. That's interesting name. I want to check that out. Let's look at Yeshu real quick, and I guess we'll look at all of these. Yeah, Yeshu.
Yaush.
Yaush, Salakia. Yeah, Salakia. I was reading that wrong. Yaush. Uh, he hurries to aid. Okay, that's a good name. He hurries to aid. Shamaria, Shamar Ayah, Ayah, kept by Yahuwah or Yahweh, however you want to pronounce it. Uh, what was the other? Okay, Zaham, 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 loathing. Oh gracious, I
Hmm.
thought that would be a better one, but that's a worse one. That's the worst one. Loathing. Like you must be mad at that father if the mother named him. Whoever named that child was mad at the other parent. I'm guessing.
Khan. Khan.
Loathing. Verse 20. And after he and after Slakia, and after her he took Ma Ma'aka Ma'aka
Maaka, Khan.
Tada, hallelujah. Mahakah, the daughter of Absalom, which what? The daughter of Absalom?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that before. Did we see that in
You
Kings?
know, I don't remember that because I was thinking Maaka was the the son of Manasseh. You know.
Wow. Well, we know he was, doing some stuff, but yeah, we got to see who she was. I wonder who mother. Okay, we'll finish this out. And he took to, and after her he took Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, which bare him Abiah
Abiyah. Mm-hmm.
and Atiah, Atiai,
Atai, Khan.
Atai, and Ziza, Zaza, Zaze, Zaze,
Ziza.
Ziza, Ziza, and Shamariatha, Shamar,
Shalamoth.
Shel-
Shalamith.
Shelemith, Salakis, Shelemith. I butchered that one. Todaki, keep me straight there. Let's look at her name here. Ma'ak, Ma'ara, oppression. So, okay, father of, this is what I was looking for, Gath, son, father of Dawid's warrior, Simeonite, tribe of Rain, son of Nahor, daughter of Tamar, Dawid's mother. Oh, Slakia, daughter of King Talamah of Gersha,
Mm-hmm.
wife of Dawid, the mother of Absalom, daughter of Absalom. There we go. King of, wife of King Rehoboam. But it don't talk about where did she come from? Who was her mother? Who did Absalom had his woman with, had his daughter with? That's really what I was trying to get to. Like, was she with one of David's concubines?
Mm.
Was he was doing that in the
Yeah.
in the sight of the people? That's why really I was trying to see if that was known. But it just talked about her being his daughter. But why would it talk about where she came from? That's strange. All right. Nevertheless, let's continue. Finish this chapter out here. Verse 21. Ah, and Rehoboam loved. Uh, help me out one more time on that one.
Maaka.
Maacah, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and his concubines, for he took 18 wives and threescore concubines, and begot 20 and 8 sons and threescore daughters. Whoa! Let's pause right there for just a moment because I got to count this up. He took 18 wives, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and threescore concubines. That's 20, 40. That's 60 concubines. And
78 wives.
wow, wow, that's quite a family there. That's quite a family. And begot 20 and 8 sons. So 28 sons and threescore daughters. So that's 60 daughters.
Right.
Yeah, 60 and 28. That's what, 88 children.
Mm-hmm.
Phew. So I said I had to count this up. Let me
No,
see.
no, no. What did I say? 78.
Oh,
18 plus 60.
18 plus 6. Oh,
Oh,
so that's just,
you was counting the sons and daughters all together, wasn't
yeah, well, yeah,
you?
right.
Okay, yeah, yeah, con.
20 and 8, and
Yep.
then, okay,
88 children total. Yep.
okay, okay. Wow, yeah, he was a festive, very busy fella. Verse
Mm-hmm.
22. And Rehoboam made Adiyah, the son of Maacah, the chief, to be ruler among his brethren, and he thought to make him king, and he dwelled wisely, and uh, this this what is that word? This
It is uh
and this
dispersed.
disperse all the children of all of his children throughout the country of Yehuda and Benjamin unto every fenced city, and gave them victuals in abundance, and he desired many wives. Okay. It really didn't get into a lot of his well, we got into a little bit of his folly, but not a whole lot. So we down to the last uh 3, 12, 13, and 14. So you wanna take over?
Indeed, I'm gonna speed up as well.
Okay,
Um, and we'll break down anything
okay,
that we're unfamiliar with. But this is the book of Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter 12. Shishak of Mizraim invades Yehuda, verse 1. And it came to pass, when Rehoboam had established the kingdom and had strengthened himself, he forsook the law of Yahweh and all Israel with him. You know, I wonder what that mean. All of well, Israel was already going off because of Jeroboam.
yeah. This is in
So
southern. This is the southern kingdom that we talking about here.
yeah, Khan. But I just wonder why it said all of Israel rather than all of Yehuda, because we know that Rehoboam, but
Well,
Israel was going off as well.
right. But remember also, some of Israel had stayed with
Hmm.
in Jerusalem
Yeah,
at
Khan. And the
certain places.
Levites ended up returning back to
Yeah.
Yehuda and Jerusalem too.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, verse 2. And it came to pass that in the 5th year of the king Rehoboam, Shishak, king of Mizraim, came up against Jerusalem because they had transgressed against Yahweh with 1,200 chariots and 60,000 horsemen, and the people were without number that came with him out of Mizraim, the Lubims, the Sukkums, and the Ethiopians. And he took the fenced cities which pertained to Yehuda and came to Jerusalem. Then came Shemaiah the prophet to Rehoboam and to the princes of Yehuda that were gathered together to Jerusalem because of Shishak, and said unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, ye have forsaken me, and therefore have I also left you in the hand of Shishak. Whereupon the princes of Israel and the king humbled themselves, and they said, Yahweh is righteous. And when Yahweh saw that they were humbled themselves, the word of Yahweh came to Shemaiah, saying, They have humbled themselves, therefore I will not destroy them, but I will grant them some deliverance, and my wrath shall not be poured out upon Jerusalem by the hand of Shishak. So, we remember that wonderful prayer that
Mhm.
King Shlomo had
Mhm.
made when he had dedicated the temple.
Yep. Yep.
And we see his descendants remembering that prayer and humbling themselves,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point to pull out. And I remember reading this in Kings, but who would have never thought, that the king of Mizraim would have been a problem for Israel after after the
Mm-hmm.
initial leaving there. So yeah, that makes sense.
Come. All right, verse 8. Nevertheless, they shall be his servants, that they may know my service and the service of the kingdoms of the countries, plunder and provinces Yehuda. Verse 9. So Shishak, king of Mizraim, came up against Jerusalem and took away the treasures of the house of Yahweh and the treasures of the king's house. He took all. He carried away also the shields of gold which Shlomo had made,
Wow.
and instead of which King Rehoboam made shields of brass and committed them to the hands of the chief of the guard that kept the entrance of the king's house. And when the kings entered into the house, and when the king entered into the house of Yahweh, the guard came and fetched them and brought them again into the guard chamber. And when he humbled himself, the wrath of Yahweh turned from him, that he would not destroy him altogether. And also in Yehuda things went well. Hallelujah.
Praises, yes indeed.
Verse 13. So King Rehoboam strengthened himself in Jerusalem and reigned, for Rehoboam was 140 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah, an Ammonitess.
Mm.
And he did evil because he prepared not his heart to seek Yahweh. Now the acts of Rehoboam, first and last, are they not written in the book of Shemaiah the prophet, and of Edu the seer concerning genealogies? And there were wars between Rehoboam and Jeroboam
Continue,
continually. And
continually.
Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of Dawid. And Abijah his son reigned in his stead.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let's keep rolling on.
All right. This is the book of Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter 13. Abijah succeeds Rehoboam, verse 1. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam began Abijah to reign over Yehuda. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Mikah, the daughter of Uriel of Gibeah. And there was war between Abijah and Jeroboam. And Abijah set the battlefield in array with an army of valiant men of war, even 400,000 chosen men. Jeroboam also set the battle in array against him with 800,000 chosen men, being mighty men of valor. Civil war. Verse 4. Verse 4. And Abijah stood up upon Mount Zemaram, which is in Mount Ephraim, and said, Hear me, thou Jeroboam and all Israel. I ye not know that Yahweh, power of Israel, gave the kingdom over Israel to Dawid forever, even to him and to his sons by a covenant of salt. Yet Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, the servant of Shlomo, the son of Dawid, is risen up and hath rebelled against his master. And there are gathered unto him vain men, the children of evil, and have strengthened themselves against Rehoboam, the son of Shlomo, when Rehoboam was young and tender-hearted, and could not withstand them. And now ye think to withstand the kingdom of Yahweh in the hand of the sons of Dawid. And ye be a great multitude, and there are with you golden calves, which Jeroboam made your deity that made you for deities. Have ye not cast out the priests of Yahweh, the sons of Aharon and the Levites, and have made you priests after the manner of the nations of other lands? So that whosoever cometh to consecrate himself with a young bullock and 7 rams, the same may be a priest of them that are no deities.
Mm.
But as for us, Yahweh is our power, and we have not forsaken him. And the priests which minister unto Yahweh are the sons of Aharon, and the Levites wait upon their business. And they burn unto Yahweh every morning and every evening burnt sacrifices and sweet incense. The shewbread also set they in order upon the pure table, and the candlestick of gold with the lamps thereof, to burn every evening, for we keep the charge of Yahweh our power, but ye have forsaken him. And behold, the Most High himself is with us for our captain, and his priests with sounding trumpets to cry alarm against you. O children of Israel, fight ye not against Yahweh, power of your fathers, for ye shall not prosper. But Jeroboam caused an ambush to come about behind them, so they were before Yehuda, and the ambush was behind them.
Mm.
And when Yehuda looked back, behold, the battle was before and behind, and they cried unto Yahweh, and the priests sounded with the trumpets. Then the men of Yehuda gave a shout, and as the men of Yehuda shouted, it came to pass that the Most High smote Jeroboam and all of Israel before Abijah and Yehuda.
Mm.
And the children of Israel fled before Yehuda, and the Most High delivered them into their hand. And Abiyah and his people slew them with a great slaughter. So there fell down slain of Israel 500 chosen men,
mm,
Slakia, 5,000, Slakia, 500,000 chosen
mm.
men.
500,000.
Man,
Mm.
thus the children of Israel were brought under at that time, and the children of Yehuda prevailed because they relied upon Yahweh, power of their fathers. Hallelujah.
Praises, yes indeed.
Verse 19. And Abiyah pursued after Jeroboam and took cities from him, Bethel with the towns thereof, and Yashanah with the towns thereof, and Ephraim with the towns thereof. Death of Jeroboam. Verse 20. Neither did Jeroboam recover strength again in the days of Abiyah, and Yahweh struck him, and he died. But Abiyah waxed mighty, and married 14 wives, and begat 20 and 2 sons and 16 daughters.
Mm.
And the rest of the acts of Abiyah, and his ways, and his sayings, are written in the story of the prophet of Edu.
The, look, we gotta find. I don't know where we're gonna
Man,
get that. You know,
yeah,
I just imagine Hamashiach, coming and establishing things, and then him just telling us, like filling in all the holes, all the gaps, like telling
mm-hmm,
us about where the ivory came from, and how they got it from the elephants and so on and so forth. So
mm-hmm.
look forward to that day. All right, we're gonna conclude with this chapter number 14 here, and yeah, so this is edifying. Let's go ahead.
Indeed, this is the book of Dibre Hayamim Bête, chapter 14. Asa succeeds Abiyah in Yehuda, verse 1. So Abiyah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of Dawid, and Asa his son reigned in his stead. In his days the land was quiet 10 years, and Asa did that which was good and right in the eyes of Yahweh his power, for he took away the altars of the strange deities and the high places, and brake down the images, and cut down the groves, and commanded Yehuda to seek Yahweh power of their fathers, and to do the law and the commandment. Also, he took away out of all the cities of Yehuda the high places and the images, and the kingdom was quiet before him. And he built fenced cities in Yehuda, for the land had rest, and he had no war in those years, because Yahweh had given him rest.
Praises.
Mhm. Therefore he said unto Yehuda, let us build these cities, and make about them walls, and towers, gates, and bars, while the land is yet before us, because we have sought Yahweh our power. We have sought him, and he hath given us rest on every side. So they built and prospered. And Asa had an army of men that bare targets and spears, out of Yehuda 300,000, and out of Benjamin that bare shields and drew bows 264,000. All these were mighty men of valor. And there came out against them Zerah the Ethiopian with a host of 1,000,000 and 300 chariots. And they came unto Mershah. Then Asa went out against him, and they set the battle in array in the valley of Zeph Hathah at Merashah. And Asa cried unto Yahweh his power, and said, Yahweh, it is nothing with thee to help. Salakia, it is nothing with you to help, whether with many or with them that have no power. Help us, O Yahweh, our power, for we rest on thee. And in your name we go against this multitude. O Yahweh, thou art our power. Let not man prevail against you.
Hmm.
So Yahweh smote the Ethiopians before Asa
Hmm.
and before Yehuda, and the Ethiopians fled.
Praises.
Hallelujah.
Yes, indeed.
Verse 13. And Asa and the people that were with him pursued them unto Gerar, and the Ethiopians were overthrown, that they could not recover themselves, for they were destroyed before Yahweh and before his host, and they carried away very much spoil, and they smote all the cities round about Gerar, for the fear of Yahweh came upon them, and they spoiled all the cities, for there was exceeding much spoil in them. They smote also the tents of cattle, and carried away sheep and camels in abundance, and returned unto you, and they returned to Jerusalem.
All praises.
Hallelujah.
Yes, indeed. All praises. Hallelujah to the Most High Power of Israel, of our fathers. Some very good informational. We're reading, reiterating some additional exploits, some additional information that we did not get in the book of Kings there. Lots of good information. It's always good. Let me say this. It's always good when we see the children of Israel act appropriately as it pertains to our power, and to see him deliver deliver us out of the hand of evil and out of the hand of wickedness, to keep us where we need to be and to overcome our adversaries. It's always a beautiful thing to see that in the text and to see that in real life. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, and I'm just edified every time. Dealing with the, I was honestly, I didn't recall when we were reading about what happened with the king of Mizraim. I didn't recall him getting that much ability at that time, but I don't know if I just didn't recall it or if it gave us more details in the Book of Chronicles than in the Book of Kings. But yeah, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah,
You know, covering this again with King Shlomo just really drives home so much. And what I mean when I say that, we look at some of the acts that King Shlomo had done, and we know that it was off. You know what I mean? We know that it's off. No buts about it.
right.
However, we are able to, from him going off, it also gave us some good writings. Uh, you know what I mean? Like Ecclesiastes, Proverbs. These are books uh, written by King Shlomo, and he was able to bring this out because of what he had done in his life.
Mhm.
That vanity. Uh, we hear about him receiving all of these different commodities from different kings, from different queens, and their entourages, bringing camels of caravans of gold, apes, and all of these different commodities. And one could possibly see individuals worshiping these items
Yeah,
that are just, items that are vanity, he later writes.
right.
All is vanity, he later writes. And what it makes me think of is what the apostle Shaul, Paul, writes in Romans chapter 1 and verse 25,
Mhm.
when he said that they exchanged the truth of the most high for a lie,
Mhm.
and served the creator, or served the creation,
Mhm.
or serve the creature more than the creator,
Right.
who is blessed forever. So be it. Um, now Shlomo, I'm not Shlomo, but Shaul is speaking about different people and a different situation. But again, we hear about the creature being worshipped rather than the creator. So this is something that we have to be mindful of. Even going outside and just admiring the day without acknowledging the Most High is off.
Exactly.
You know,
Kind. Yeah, that's a good point, Art, because it's so easy to get swept away, and especially when you, especially for us when you around these other people and you're dealing with the way that they deal with things, and it just seems like, oh, I could just, whatever the case, but we can't do like they do because we're accountable to a power that don't play that stuff, and he not gonna play. He not gonna play with us. He not gonna half step with us. He not gonna, you know, take it easy, make it light. You go off, you gonna get it, and that's just what it is. So that's the reality that we got to live with. And we read it right here in the text. They went off, and it cost them. They had to deal with those uh, misrights and
Hmm.
even these Ethiopians. But man, our praises to see the Most High deliver the Ethiopians into the hand of Israel,
That's
and
right.
them come at us and end up becoming spoils for us. That's a barakah. So to let us know, remind us that Yahuwah is with us, and that is always a barakah. So,
Hmm.
uh, yeah. So that brings us to the end of this evening and this wonderful read. It is midnight 30 here in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and we're going to close it out with the book of Ecclesiastes, Salakia chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Always remember the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion or the end of the whole matter, the whole premise of life. Fear the Most High and keep
Hmm.
His commandments. Why? Because this is the whole duty, is the entire duty of man. The conclusion of the whole thing, I always say it 3 times just so it sink in. The conclusion of the whole matter is to fear the Most High and to keep His commandments.
Hmm.
Why? Because this is why man was made, to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. So, with that, I'm your Akazaki Yahu, joined by my most esteemed Akinanaya. We give all praise, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the 4 quarters of the earth. I say Shalom Wabarukim, that is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait till the day that the Most High brings us back together. And we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant. Until that day, Shalom, family.
Shalom, shalom, family.
And join us tomorrow after about 2:30 as we get into continue these exploits and reading this book of Habib.
Dibre Hayamim.
Hayamim Bête, Khan. We'll
Hmm.
pick up chapter 15 on tomorrow. Shalom, shalom, family.